Hi, everyone. It's with great pleasure that I introduce Emily Stanislawzyk. I don't think I've ever said it, Emily. So I probably butchered that. Um, we've been thrilled to have Emily with us this summer. She's taken fresh eyes to all things sustainability and social impact at Tom's of Maine. She's offered wonderful insight and perspective into our plans and strategy. And she'll be leaving us with really meaningful recommendations for how we move forward. She's only sharing really a sliver of the work that she's been doing. So I want to acknowledge and appreciate her ability to just jump right in, roll up her sleeves, and really contribute to the team. A highlight is that she helped me lead, a big cross-functional meeting with people from all across Tom's and outside consultants, and really brought some great insights around ingredient sustainability. So we're sad that her time has come to an end, but we want to thank Emily for all of her wonderful contributions this summer. And we know that she will be off to do great things. All right, take it away, Emily.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much, Michelle, for your kind introduction. As Michelle said, my name is Emily, and this summer I've been a fellow for the Corporate Social Responsibility Program at Tom's of Maine under the guidance and mentorship of Michelle, who's the steward for sustainability and everyday good. Before I jump into the project, I just wanted to say thank you to Michelle for being such an amazing mentor. Michelle not only devoted her time to supporting me in my deliverables, but she also went above and beyond to ensure that I was exposed to all areas of sustainability at the business, and I had the chance to really explore my evolving interests. So again, thank you so much for making this summer such a valuable professional experience. Next slide, please. So the focus of my summer was based on 3 areas: the 2023 Goodness Report, sustainable ingredients, and zero waste certification. These deliverables were identified based on Tom's of Maine sustainability goals that were laid out in their 2022 Goodness Report, and their mission to harness the power of nature to create a healthy future for all people. For the 2020 Goodness Report, I conducted a landscape analysis and a report outline. For the sustainable ingredient focus, as Michelle said, I supported a cross-functional meeting to align on sustainable ingredient sourcing actions. And for the True Zero Waste certification, I conducted a gap analysis and helped set goals for achieving the certification. Next slide, please. The focus I'm going to dive more deeply into is the True Zero Waste certification. So Tom's of Maine has a goal to achieve True Zero Waste certification by 2025 at the Kennebunk office. And this is really driven by their understanding of and commitment to environmental stewardship. The first step I took was to learn more about Tom's sustainability goals and the True Zero Waste certification requirements. The True Zero Waste certification really is the perfect certification for Tom's to focus their waste reduction efforts on, because it takes a holistic approach and really encourages employee engagement and innovative problem solving. Next, I researched the requirements and gathered information from staff. After that, I created initial tracking documents and conducted a gap analysis. And finally, I ensured the project materials and vision would be carried on after my fellowship ends by sharing materials and meetings with the Kennebunk Tom's team. Next slide, please. So the impact of my work on the True Zero Waste certification is that the Kennebunk office staff will have all the information that they need to really hit the ground running. For the gap analysis, I went through all 81 possible credits that the site can achieve to reach different certification levels. Since the Kennebunk office is not a manufacturing plant, some of the credits simply don't apply. But from the 61 credits that I identified as possible for the office to achieve, I broke them down into different categories: easy, medium, and hard challenge levels based on the time and resources that it'll take the office to complete. And then also labeled them as maybe, definitely, based on some external factors, such as whether or not property managers would allow changes to landscaping policies. So this week and next week, I'm hosting a series of presentations and meetings to share the information and ensure the work that I've done will be easily transferable to the dedicated and passionate staff at Tom's of Maine. So with that, I just wanted to say thank you again to my mentor, Michelle, the entire team at Tom's of Maine. A big thank you to Scott and Alexis, my UNH advisors, and to my advisory group for all support this summer. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you very much. Great presentation. Alexis, I could turn it over to you, or otherwise I can get going as well.
Yeah, definitely. So once again, it's just so exciting to see fellows like Emily from the beginning to the end, and having an opportunity to work with Tom's of Maine, especially, and Michelle, is so exciting. I was just curious, are there any insights that you weren't expecting to get out of the experience that you learned through working with Tom's?
Oh, totally. Yeah. So when I came into my work at Tom's, I had never worked at a business like Tom's before. My experience and background was in nonprofits. I did education advocacy. So from day one, I've been learning so much. And one of the things that's not surprising to me, but really stood out the most from day one there, is that everybody in the office and all of the staff had kind of the same passion and energy that I experienced working at a nonprofit. Everyone was super mission driven, really cared about impact. And that was something that was again and again reinforced through my experience.
That's really interesting, Emily. Which kind of brings up a question. How do you think an organization like Tom's fosters that? Right.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a really good question. I don't know if they're attracted to the mission of the organization and that's how people find Tom's, because they're looking for a naturals leader that they want to support. Or yeah, I mean, the world of sustainability, I feel like, is also really small. The more involved I become in the sustainability world, the more I realize people are connected. And Tom's being the brand that it is, people might just find out that it's a great place to work and be drawn to it.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of like nature versus nurture almost, right? Like you're attracting certain types of people, but also nurturing that in them. Yeah, really interesting. And the other question that I had was in thinking about the work that you've done over the summer. Sustainability is inherently multidisciplinary. So can you speak to the different groups that you worked with at Tom's, or that you interacted with at Tom's?
Sure, it'll be a really long list though. I worked with innovation teams. I spoke to people who were doing sales and marketing. I worked with Michelle on sustainability goals, but also there's an ESG and comms lead. I had meetings with a general manager. I had meetings across the greater supply chain that Michelle was speaking about earlier, that includes R&D and procurement. I mean, I'm not joking when I said that I was really given the opportunity to explore so many different sides of the business.
That's amazing. That's great. That's fantastic to hear. I'm really happy about that. Thank you, Emily. Great presentation.